What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Keeping It Kayfabe podcast. I am Mega Greg, and I have a Cosmic Brownies addiction.
And I'm Dustin Dynamite, and I'm fucking fired up again tonight. So
Yeah, I just scarfed down a Cosmic Brownie before the show here. So
a little food on your stomach.
Tonight's episode is titled "The AEW Squash Match," or the CM Punk Squash Match, rather.
Squash match. Yeah. So, do you want to get into that first?
Yeah, let's get into that because I want to get that off my chest.
So what do you think about this? Where are they going with this?
It doesn't matter because it's fucking stupid.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard some people try to validate it and say like, well, this is their way of validating Mox's championship run, and then Punk's just going to get it back in Chicago.
Then why not just have Punk, relinquish the title when he went out for injury? You don't have him hold on to the belt just to come back and get fucking squashed for it.
I think they want to. So the way that it's being played out, and I don't get it because I still think it's stupid, but it's basically their way of saying, thank you to Mox for carrying the fucking belt all summer long.
Okay.
Validating his championship run because otherwise it means nothing.
Validating his championship run of all the fucking jobbers that he went up against defending it.
Seriously, though.
Let me tell you, it feels so validated to me now.
Half of them were jobbers.
You don't squash your biggest star in your company. They had more viewers tuning in because CM Punk was back than they've had in weeks. And then what do? You just fucking shit down all of their fucking throats by doing this. And what makes it even worse is they built some big promo like it was going to be, a fucking barn burner of a match.
Yeah. And I think it would have been. I think it will be. I mean, if they still go at all out, I think it will be, but I just don't see the point in squashing Punk. I can't make sense.
Here's the thing. Let's say they have the match of a lifetime at All Out, right?
Yeah.
You've still already seen Mox completely fucking destroy Punk like he was a nobody. Nothing takes that away. That's there forever.
But I mean, they did have the injury in there. I mean, they basically made it look like he was, fucked.
I don't know, man. I don't agree with it. I think it's stupid.
I think it's stupid. I think they should have just fought it all out and it been, if they want to fucking validate Mox, then give the belt to Mox.
They wanted to go at each other so bad it couldn't wait, Dustin.
And dude, the segment on Rampage tonight with Punk on it was so fucking stupid. It was five seconds of Punk on screen going, "Oh yeah, I didn't really feel it when it happened." He's like, kind of like when I broke my foot the first time. So you know what that means, and that was it. He was like on a train. He was on a training.
He said, "You know what that means."
You know what that means? Like he's saying it's still broken.
No,
I don't know.
Are you just ready for MJF to come back?
Yeah, God, I hope he comes back at All Out.
What if he doesn't? Are you prepared for him not coming back?
Then I don't know where all this is going, man, because all this, then maybe all the shit that's been in the dirt sheets and stuff is true. And that AEW locker room's in fucking turmoil and all this stuff. But I don't know. I still think it's a work. I think it's all a work building to this ex-WWE versus the AEW original feud that's going to happen. I think that's what they've been building towards all summer long.
I thought I had a reason to watch AEW again, and they just proved me wrong this week. So we'll go over the other things that happened on Dynamite because we just need to. So we started the show with Chris Jericho and Daniel Garcia face-to-face in the ring talking about whether or not Daniel Garcia is a wrestler or a sports entertainer.
It's time to drop that. That whole thing was a shot at WWE, and they're not doing that anymore. So it's like, can we be done with that angle now? It's old now.
Yeah, like Vince is gone, and so like it doesn't make sense.
Well, it was Jericho's thing where he was saying, I'm a sports entertainer, and he was calling it the AEW Galaxy and all this. It was just little shots at WWE. It's dumb now. It's old.
It was dumb from the beginning, honestly.
Yeah.
It was like one of those things. It was like a joke that was funny the first time, but then you just keep doing it anyway, and no one's laughing.
Like the wizard thing.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know.
The
I kind of
wizard-
like it. I kind of like the
wizard thing
wizard
got
thing,
old after a
honestly. But
Well, now he's back to being the Lionheart, Chris Jericho. So
yeah, because he's the new Cactus Jack Mankind Dude Love of professional wrestling. He changes his
do you think
personality every other week.
Daniel Garcia is going to turn face?
Would I don't give a shit be an appropriate answer?
Do you just not like the guy?
I just don't. I'm not impressed by him, honestly. He's a good wrestler. His in-ring work is not bad, but it's not anything that's that fucking impressive. You know what? When he can impress me going against somebody who's not a fucking superstar like Daniel Bryan, then I'll give the guy his credit. But guess what? When you're in there with a stud like Bryan, it's easy to look good.
That's true. That's true.
So until then, I'm not on this dude's nuts yet.
Coming soon.
But yeah, Daniel Bryan came out there. I keep calling him Daniel Bryan. Why do I keep doing that? Bryan Danielson came out there, and then him and Chris Jericho basically fought over Daniel Garcia.
Yep, and now they're gonna have a match at All Out. Bryan Danielson
to
versus
figure
Chris
out
Jericho.
who Daniel Garcia's daddy really is.
Do you think they'll ever? End this whole feud between the Blackpool Combat Club and Jericho Appreciation Society? Or are those guys just gonna fight each other the whole time? Like,
I guess they're gonna fight each other forever.
All right, what was next?
Before it was Jericho's group versus the Young Bucks, the Elite. And now we moved on to this. So next up we had let's see, Jay Lethal versus Dax Harwood.
That was actually a good match. I liked that match.
It was a good match. Jay Lethal's really good. Dax is really good. I think I like Dax better as a singles wrestler than I do as a tag team, but at the same time, FTR is really good as a tag team, so that's hard.
I don't understand why. Oh, and we had the big reveal of Motor City Machine Guns are going to be at All Out.
Oh man,
are you not excited?
The funny thing is, I like Motor City Machine Guns, but like,
it doesn't make sense.
It doesn't. It's like, hey, here's these guys.
Plus, why not just have Motor City Machine Guns go against FTR?
Here's the problem with AEW. Okay, every single week they give us something that's like, here you go. Here's something to mark out for. We're giving it to you on a fucking silver platter. Here you go. Every week. Every week it's with this. Here, mark out for this.
I mean, it's true. There's like no purpose to the Motor City Machine Guns being at All Out besides what you just said. Hey, here you go. Plus, like, why shouldn't Wardlow be defending the TNT belt, and FTR should probably be like in a tag match at All Out? Isn't this their big pay-per-view? This is their big one, right? Their WrestleMania.
I don't think so. I think their big one is the one they have around January, like the beginning of the year. What is it? It's the casino one. Whatever the fucking casino one is.
Double or Nothing?
Double or Nothing. Yeah, I think that's their big one.
Oh, well, they already had that, so. Yeah,
I guess. I don't know. I don't even know what their big show is. Do they even have a big show?
They're supposed to have. I thought it was All Out, but maybe it's not.
Maybe it is. Maybe it's not. Who the fuck knows?
Devin Arkham said Sanjay Dutt is an annoyance.
Sanjay Dutt has been an annoyance his entire career.
No
surprise
you want me to
there.
come to the ring and beat you up?
All
Yeah.
right.
Anyways, yeah, let's go.
Next up, we had news that everyone else is torn up about, but I am glad about. It's that Thunder Rosa is hurt and has to step down.
I don't know. I think more people are
champion.
happy about that than you think. She's got a lot of people that don't like her, so
She wishes Tony Storm luck. And you know what? Honestly, like, is it really deserved with her? I mean, I don't really have a good reason to not like her.
Well, I mean, she has a pretty bad reputation as a wrestler to be like stiff in the ring, sandbagging, like kind of all out for herself, kind of wrestler, and like not as like a heel time, like not as a heel character. Like that's like actually the person she is, just kind of a shitty person. I don't even know if she's really hurt. I kind of
Maybe
think
that's what
she's
it is
being
about her. Maybe
punished.
that's what I don't like about her. Maybe I just look at her and I just sense that she's a shitty person. I don't know.
I don't know, but we do get a nice little fatal 4-way match next week between the very hot Britt Baker,
The beautiful Britt Baker.
and then some other chicks that I can't remember. I think Jamie Hayter's in that match too.
Marcus says Thunder Rosa is exactly why we call them dirt sheets. All right. Next up, we have Colton Gunn versus Billy Gunn. Billy Gunn
Acclaimed
coming
were
out with the
there.
Acclaimed.
Which they should have done this. I really think they should have done this match on Rampage because the Acclaimed and the Gun Club has been like the only real reason to watch Rampage, and they put this on Dynamite. And yeah, you could definitely Rampage. It definitely kind of hurt Rampage this week not having that there.
Well, Colton ends up getting the win with the Colt 45 finisher, which I thought is a lame looking finisher personally, but that's just me.
Did you know that Colton Gunn was the
name.
rapper too? He has a rap, like he raps as well.
Not as good as Platinum Max Caster.
No, definitely not. He spit a nice little rap in Billy Gunn's entrance.
Yes, he did. Next up, we had the incredibly hot Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, versus Killen King. Killen King?
I think it's Kylan King.
Kylan King, whatever. She's somebody who
she's a local.
Knows, yeah.
She's a Cleveland chick.
So I guess Cleveland popped for her, but
I've seen her on TikTok. She's an indie wrestler. I've seen her on TikTok and stuff. She had a good match. It wasn't a squash match, so I mean, it was at least entertaining. Not
Britt ended up putting her in the lockjaw though, and
the lockjaw
sealing that deal.
And and we can't forget to mention that Britt Baker wore Pittsburgh Steelers gear to the ring, and then also the other chick that's not Jamie Hayter had a giant terrible towel.
That should be her wrestling name. The other chick who's not Jamie Hayter.
I don't know who that other girl that's always with them is. I don't know what her name is, but she had a big ass terrible towel. So I always love the cheap heat. I always love, especially when it comes to like dissing a city.
All right. So next up, we had the Jon Moxley versus CM Punk squash match. We've already talked about that, and I'm fucking just think it's so stupid. I think AEW doesn't know what the fuck they're doing back there. Allegedly, they have a creative team now. Well, if they do, they fucking suck. That's all I'm gonna say about that.
They either suck or something, or they're working towards something that's going to be genius. That's what I think. I don't think there's going to be any in between. We're either going to be like
they're not working towards anything that's going to be genius.
You have zero faith, and I mean, I'm kind of with you, but I'm kind of trying to like hold on to hope that maybe this is working towards something that's going to make everybody go, "Oh my god!" I mean, the squash match definitely had. I mean, it was the biggest news in wrestling. I mean, that's what everybody.
You don't fucking squash your biggest star in the company.
I agree. I'm just saying. I mean, it got the people talking for sure.
Well, me and you were talking about this, and we said that you said that CM Punk had to have agreed to it.
Yeah, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. This was someone's idea, and Punk was like, okay, either way. Some people are trying to say, oh, this was punishment for Punk going into business for himself. You think Punk is going to just be like, yeah, man, you guys can, yeah, I'll do that, because
I'll take my receipt.
Yeah, fuck that. His shit was a receipt for something else. And he's the biggest star in the company. And if he's really as arrogant as everybody says he is, you think he would agree to that as a punishment? Fuck out of here.
All right, so we're to our main event, which was the only real reason to watch Dynamite, honestly.
And
it was amazing. Oh, it definitely delivered. The United Empire versus Death Triangle.
Man,
so
was
United
that
Empire was a Will
match.
Ospreay and Aussie Open. Mark Curtis and what's the other guy's name? Shit, I can't think of it at the moment. You know that guy's name? The other member of
The Dark Triangle.
no, the other member of
Oh,
Aussie.
it's nope. I'm drawing a blank on it.
Yeah, me
Devin
too.
Arkham, help me out. He's a big United Empire fan. I just know him as Aussie Open.
Yeah,
Ospreay and the boys.
Osprey and the boys. I like them.
Yeah.
I just can't ever remember their fucking names. I
I
know
know one's
Mark,
name is Mark. And I
Mark
can't remember what the
Davis,
other guy-
and then the other guy. I said Mark Curtis earlier. That was the old referee.
Yeah, this was a fucking hell of a match, man. I mean, does Ospreay ever have a bad match? I know I'm a mark for
not
the guy,
really, but you actually said that you found some criticism of him online.
Yeah, everyone's people are always like, "Oh, he's a spot wrestler. All he does is flippy shit and this and that," which I find funny because I was watching SmackDown tonight and the very first match was Ricochet versus Happy Corbin, and Ricochet is wrestles almost identical to Will Ospreay. And he was doing all the same shit that Will Ospreay does in the ring. Not saying that they copy each other. I'm just saying they're the same type of wrestler. And I don't ever hear anybody say the same shit about Ricochet because he's in WWE.
Yep.
Oh, there was another thing about him because that move when he did the Oscutter on Pac hit him with a suplex and he didn't sell it. But I mean, if you ever watch New Japan, they don't sell every fucking move.
Well, yeah, that's the thing with them. Like whenever it's basically him getting fired up. Like they get hit with a move, and it's like their second wind or something like that, or sometimes third, fourth, fifth, whatever. But
I mean, Hogan did. I mean, that was Hogan's whole fucking shtick.
There's nothing wrong with that.
You fucking punch Hogan in the head, and he's like, and then you punch him in the head again, and he hulks up, and then he fucking. I mean, come on, man.
It's telling a story. It's like saying, man, this guy really wants to win, so he's battling through this. But
fucking stupid marks. It's mostly WWE people that say the ones that are like diehard WWE fans, and it's like they just talk out their fucking ass.
Ospreay is not just a spot guy. I can tell you that. I mean, for a long time, he wasn't even doing a lot of the flip stuff because he was coming off injuries. So he changed his style up to support the weight he had put on and the new injuries when he first got into the heavyweight division. So,
well, the thing
is bullshit.
If you watch his matches, he adapts to whoever his opponent is. Like I was saying, we were talking about it last night, and I was saying he can even when he wrestled Orange Cassidy, he was funny in the ring. He was doing funny shit. He was selling moves funny. He was adapting to the way that Orange Cassidy wrestles. It was a fun match. And when he's serious, he can do a serious match. He can do power. He can do fucking aerial stuff. When he's in a ring with somebody like Ricochet, that match between him and Ricochet is fucking amazing. Like, people are just stupid, man. If that's not entertaining to you, I don't know. You need some fucking glasses, I guess.
Devin Arkham here says if Ospreay didn't break up with B. Priestley, United Empire would have been some fire shit. I don't think they actually broke up in real life, though. I think they're still together. I'm not sure, though. I don't really focus too much on the wrestlers' personal lives, per se, as long as they entertain me in the ring. But yeah, that was our main event. United Empire won, and then we had an incredible Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay exchange on doing promos after the show. So before we talk about this, first, the promo was amazing, and we'll talk about that in just a second.
Solid fucking gold.
But why would you not have this on your main fucking show? You could have cut the promo was only 6 minutes long.
Yeah.
So you could have cut 3 minutes off of any of that other bullshit that you had that wasn't all that important anyway to have this promo on the show. But no, you wait and let it go off the air and then put it on YouTube or something. Or was it even on YouTube?
Yeah, it was on their YouTube.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, they were filming. I mean, you could see the cameras in everybody's face.
Yeah,
they definitely filmed it. But yeah, I don't get it. And plus, there was this. They were saying that they were scrambling for time because the Punk match went way shorter than they had expected. So I mean, why not just cut the main event match a little bit short to get the promo?
Or the women's match with Britt, honestly.
Yeah, something.
You could have shaved 3 minutes off that match, and it would not have hurt that match at all.
Yeah, because that fucking promo was fucking
Or 6 minutes.
awesome.
You could have shaved 6 minutes off of it, probably.
I mean, shit, I was marking out when Kenny came out to begin with because I was like, oh, fuck yeah. Kenny Omega, fucking Will Ospreay, Young Bucks, Aussie Open. Like, that's going to be fucking awesome.
It is. And you know that's going to be your final right there. So.
No, they can't be. That's the semifinal.
Oh, is it? So they have to fight in the semis?
Somebody has to win to get in the finals. So
okay.
I think it'll be – I think Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks will probably end up winning that because I think they're going to end up winning the whole thing. But yeah, they cut an awesome promo. Will Ospreay told Kenny Omega that he was gonna he's been working. Kenny Omega's been sitting around while the Young Bucks wipe his ass for him. Kenny Omega told him that instead of filling his shoes, he should have gave him diapers because he's still a fucking baby.
Yeah,
it was great, man.
But he kind of dug at him about not winning the G1.
Yeah, he's like, I beat Okada. You didn't beat Okada. But I think somebody was, so, I was upset about the G1 final, and somebody was telling, I watched a TikTok, and they were saying that this is long-term storytelling, that Will Ospreay is eventually going to beat Okada, and it's going to make it that much better. Because I guess he's never beat him except for one time, and it was dirty.
Probably what's going to end up happening, honestly, is someone either if Jay White still has the belt at Wrestle Kingdom, Okada will probably beat him for the title, and then Ospreay will beat Okada for the belt.
Now that would be actually amazing. Probably better than him winning the G1, honestly.
Because they've done that before. They either that or they may do the thing to where Ospreay challenges him for the briefcase. They've done that before also. So.
Devin Arkham says Omega versus Ospreay itself is a concept that sparks more interest than Roman versus Drew or Karrion Kross. I kind of agree with that statement.
It does because we've already. Well, I mean, I wouldn't agree with that on Roman versus Kross because we've never seen that before. It would depend on how they built it, honestly. But definitely Roman versus Drew because we've seen that before.
Yeah, many times. And Marcus said he's an AEW mark, but our criticism is valid.
I mean, longtime wrestling fans, man. I call it like it is.
Yeah.
I don't hate AEW, but they aggravate the shit out of me.
I think it's more aggravating because their potential. They have the potential
That's
to be
the thing. They have
awesome.
all the star power. That's what aggravates me about it. They have all the star power. All you have to do is bring in some older guys, man. Older guys to book your show. That's all they have to do, and it'll fix everything. But the problem is they're so hung up on this indie shit, and they know that if they bring in a real booker, he's going to fucking use those indie guys exactly for what they are. They're going to become jobbers or people that have to fucking work their way up. You got to earn your spot. It's not just given to you.
Yeah.
And AEW just wants to instantly give all these indie guys that top spot, but they've done nothing to earn it other than some fucking flippy bullshit in the indies.
Or win a battle royal in Ric Flair's last match pay-per-view.
Yeah, or that. But so that's Dynamite. We'll talk about Raw now. So Raw's opening was Dakota Kai. Trish Stratus came out. That's right. She made a return.
Yeah, Trish Stratus came out, cut a promo.
She did. It was actually
they're in Toronto for this Raw. So
you commented on how Trish still looks really good.
Yeah, she's still really hot, man. I think she's kind of hotter than she was when in the old days.
I liked her little tight outfit she was wearing. I will say that. She got a big pop though, of course. Why wouldn't she? Where they were.
Yeah.
Then Bayley and all of her lackeys
Minions.
come out and start trying to diss Trish. Then Bianca Belair comes out, and then fucking half the roster comes out. Asuka comes out. I think Alexa Bliss comes out, and eventually we end up having a match between two of them. Dakota Kai and Io Sky ended up winning. I think it was against Bliss and Asuka.
Yeah, it was.
Then we had Dolph Ziggler versus Finn Balor. I wasn't really sure why this match happened, honestly.
the Judgment Day, somebody was saying basically their shtick now is they just come to the ring and tell you who's not in the arena tonight.
Pretty much.
Stupid fashion.
Finn Balor ended up winning against Dolph Ziggler. The only reason that match was worth watching is to just see Rhea Ripley standing outside looking hot.
Is she the hottest chick in WWE right now?
I think for me she is. I don't know. It's weird because I told you I'm not even really into that style, but man, something about her.
Becky Lynch still does it for me, but Rhea Ripley is definitely right there with me, with her. So
there was a backstage thing with Rochelle Rodriguez, Bailey and Io Sky and Dakota Kai, and
yeah, because they'll be facing each other.
Someone ate a piece of pie and
Io Sky, Dakota Kai.
It's too much, man. It's just too much. Kevin Owens versus Chad Gable was next. How you like what they're doing with Owens now, where they're bringing him back to the old Kevin Owens, the one that just wants to fight?
Yeah, the prize fighter Kevin Owens. I like it because he's a fucking national treasure, man. And
he is
anything he does. But I do like that they're taking him a little more serious again, and he'll probably get some kind of belt soon.
I actually loved his Universal title run back when he had the belt.
Yeah, I think that's will probably happen again soon. I think this is, and I was asking you this the other day about Triple H bringing all these NXT people back and how it's really not that big a deal, but it's the precedent that it sets.
Oh, don't worry. We're going to get to a huge, monumental comeback here shortly.
A huge monumental combat. Who's that?
Oh, don't worry. You'll see, buddy.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right.
Next was Bailey versus Aaliyah. Nobody gives a shit. Bailey won, if anyone does give a shit. The Miz versus Tommaso Ciampa versus AJ Styles and Bobby Lashley. Honestly, I didn't care much for that match neither.
But something did happen at the end of that match, though.
Something did happen at the end of that match. And what was it, Dustin?
Dexter Lumis kidnapped The Miz.
He did. I wonder what they're doing with this Dexter Lumis shit. I am curious about it. I will say that.
I mean, it intrigues me. They're planting little seeds. And Dexter Lumis he also came back and got his wife back at NXT, Indy Hartwell.
I'll say this about Dexter Lumis. I know you didn't watch much NXT, so you're not very familiar with him, but I do like his look, and his ring presence is really good. Like when he's in ring,
yeah,
he works really well for a guy his size. So I like his ring work. I like his look. I think there's a lot of potential that can be done with his overall look and presence, but they just gotta do it right. Maybe they will with this whole thing they're doing with him. They're still going with that he's a psycho kind of thing, but
they're planting these little seeds. I still, like you said, I'm still kind of like wondering where's it going, but I guess that's probably the point. So
yeah, honestly, I kind of wish they weren't doing this with him. I wish they would have just brought him in and made him more of a badass, because the problem when they do weird things like this, to where you got people kidnapping people or people giving births to feet, and I don't know.
I forgot about that.
The problem is you can't forget about this kind of stuff. So
yeah, that's funny. I forgot all about that shit.
Marcus Carney did not like the kidnapping angle that they're doing with him. He gave it a thumbs down there. Said he hadn't heard of kidnapping since Vince Russo, WCW. I mean, I'm all right with it. It's something. You know what? You know why I'm okay with it? Because it's something new and it's something they haven't done in a long time. It's at least not the same redundant shit. So anything new, I'm fine with. I'm at least curious where it's going to go, and I'm not scrolling past it saying, "Hey, I don't give a shit." So
right.
But next up, we have something that you, Dustin, are very, very excited about. Johnny Gargano makes a surprise return.
Who?
Johnny Gargano.
Who's that?
You don't know who Johnny Gargano is?
No, I don't know who
He's Johnny Wrestling. How do you not know who Johnny Wrestling is?
I don't know. I don't know who Johnny Wrestling is.
But this is like the biggest comeback since Stone Cold, since The Rock, since John Cena, since CM Punk.
I don't think so. Everyone just wants to act like all these guys coming back. These are developmental guys that they brought back that were fired, and everyone wants to act like they're the like it's the second coming of Stone Cold.
So when this happened, you messaged me and you were asking me, "Is this guy any good?"
Yeah,
And he is. He's actually really good. He's was one of the best people on NXT. His match, he's put on some fucking top quality matches. I mean, like easy 5-star matches, easy. But the thing is he's a smaller guy, so he just never quite made it up to the main roster. His mic skills aren't bad. He's a great wrestler, but it's not something that's a huge deal like they made it out to be.
Like, to me, it's more of the bringing back these developmental people is more of a big deal because it's basically saying like, all right, we're gonna rein in a new era, which is what we want, which is what everybody wants, which is why WWE was so stale. But
Actually, I forgot to mention something. By the way, I was wrong. The show did not start off with the Trish thing. It started off with Seth Rollins and Riddle fighting in the back.
oh yeah,
Because this is a theme that we keep throughout the whole show.
yeah,
Is just different scenes of them fighting in the back for 3 hours.
yeah. Well, that's. I mean, I don't know. I mean, like you said, it's different, I guess.
It is that, but I mean, come on, man. Were we really expected to believe that they couldn't break these dudes up for 3 hours?
Yeah. Well, they can't keep their hands off each other, man. Maybe they should have a squash match next week.
They want to fight each other so bad that no one can stop them.
But that's what I was asking you. So I mean, is it really as big a deal as everyone keeps making it out to be? These people coming back?
No, honestly, it's great that they're coming back. I'm happy that a lot of them coming back. I'm happy Johnny Gargano came back because he's a really good wrestler. But the thing is these people were on NXT. There's a lot of people who don't know who the fuck they are, so don't make a big deal about it. Just make people happy by bringing them back. You don't have to do an announcement for every single one of them.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it gets a
because like these announcements, man, it's basically like they're saying, "Hey, look, we brought back the guy we fired.
Yeah,
clap for us."
That's what I'm saying. And they're like, and they were developmental guys in NXT, so it's like, okay, cool. I mean, I'm glad. I want to see new stuff. I do. That's why I don't like WWE, because it was the same fucking rinse and repeat bullshit that it's been for the last 15 years. But it's like, okay, calm down, everybody. It's not that crazy. They still have fucking tons of storylines they have to get through before they can even get to these people.
Yep.
So just take a breath. Take a deep breath, everyone.
Well, apparently he's going to feud with Theory, which actually could be good. It's a good start for him to feud on the main roster. So
I think so too.
And actually, they'll probably put on some really good matches. I definitely don't skip past his matches because the dude can wrestle his fucking ass off. If you want to watch some of his old stuff, go watch his matches with Ciampa. Man, those were some of the best matches that you're ever going to see. Honestly, and honestly, his matches with Adam Cole were really good too. But next we had the main event: your favorite wrestler of all time, Edge, versus Damian Priest.
Yeah, no one cares. I don't care. I didn't even watch the match.
The match wasn't bad, honestly. The match.
I mean, I've seen the highlights of it. It was all right. It
wasn't like, one of the best matches I've ever seen or anything, but it was main event worthy. I'll say that.
Definitely. He did also announce that this will be probably his last run.
Yeah.
He said August of next year he'll be retiring. So.
Well, I mean, I wish I could say that I'm disappointed about that, but I really liked what they've done with Edge since they brought him back anyway. So,
I mean, he's been in WWE for close to 30 years now. So,
if they're not going to put the belt on him and they're not going to, make him come out there and do promos every week and be the rated R superstar again, I don't really give a shit, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because that was his best stuff, and they're just not doing that because maybe he doesn't want to anymore. I mean,
Plus, like I said, it's time to get out with the old and in with the new. Anyways, let's see some new stuff.
So, all right, you watched SmackDown tonight. I was at work, so I could not. So, you want to go over that? I have
Yeah,
it loaded
so
up here. I have the results loaded up, so I can scroll through.
I do too. All right, so they opened the show with Ricochet versus Happy Corbin, which was a really good match, and Happy Corbin got his fucking ass kicked.
Ricochet is a fucking travesty story in WWE, man. That guy is Will Ospreay in WWE, and they do fucking nothing with him.
I mean, he did have that IC belt run for a while,
but even
and
then
he
it was
lost
lackluster.
Yeah, but they are. But I mean, he's a Triple H guy, so they're saying he's going to start getting a bigger push.
That guy should have been in the main event a long time ago. He should have been a main event star. He's got all the talent.
Yeah, he does. I mean, the match was good. I don't even really like Happy Corbin that much.
Me neither. He gets on my fucking nerves.
But Ricochet carried that match. It was a good match. He pretty much beat the shit out of Happy Corbin. And then Pat McAfee made fun of him. He was like drawn on the board and like circling Happy Corbin's head and just making fun of him.
Happy Corbin annoys me so fucking bad that if I ever saw him in person, I wouldn't slap the shit out of him because he'd probably beat my ass, but I'd want to.
Yeah, he's like 6'8" and like almost 300 pounds, so I wouldn't fuck with that guy.
Well, I'd really want to, okay?
But that means he's a good heel. If you want to actually slap him in the face,
I will commend him on that.
That means he's a good heel.
He definitely just has he's so easy to hate, man.
Yeah. All right, then we had let's see. Yeah, McAfee, blah, blah, blah. Then we had a second chance fatal 4-way tag team match with a bunch of women.
I'm looking at who was all in this match right now, and there is something I want to ask about this match.
Yeah.
What do I give a shit about it? Nope.
Yeah, I was cleaning my bedroom at the time, and that
was more interesting than the match.
Definitely, but
I would have rather watched you clean your bedroom than to watch that match.
Well, they Deville and Natalya ended up winning that match, and they were the replacements for the NXT chick, the Toxic Attraction chicks. One of them got hurt, so they had to drop out of the title. So this was their way of doing that. Then there was Devin
Arkham says he was talking about when we were talking about Dexter Lumis that he's a psycho because of all his storylines elsewhere. See, I was never aware of him until he came to WWE. So I guess this has kind of been his gimmick since the day one. So that's good, actually.
All right, then we had a Drew McIntyre package, which I was saying to you earlier. That dude has a really good story, like an actually
he
good
does
story.
Actually.
He fucking kid from Scotland. You know, there's no real Scottish wrestlers, and he fucking made it, and then he got fired, and then had to work his way back into WWE.
And he looks like $1 million, dude. He looks like a professional wrestler.
Yeah. And so that package was good. That's basically what it was. It was basically telling his story from the beginning of him being a kid.
Honestly, man, Drew got fucked during his title run because it was during COVID.
Oh, so he was like fighting with no audience, and
exactly, he was fighting for that Thunderdome shit and such like that. So
I think he's gonna win the belt. You think he's gonna win the belt at Clash of the Castle?
No,
you don't.
No, I don't think Roman Reigns is dropping that title till WrestleMania. I do think he's going to lose it at WrestleMania, but I think he's going to hold on to that title and make sure that nobody can even touch his fucking record until then.
They're having a 2-year anniversary celebration on SmackDown next week.
That should be good.
Title reign. I don't know. I
know you hate long title runs, but I like them because to me it gives the title meaning.
I guess. I mean, I can see that point of view, but
Well, that's why you have other belts like the IC belt and such like that, is so you can have long title runs with your actual champion.
well, they need to put them fucking other belts on TV more then.
They do need to put them on TV more, and they need to make them have more relevance.
Then we had a promo between Gunther or Walter and Sheamus, and basically they just talking shit to each other. I'll be honest, it wasn't that interesting to me. But basically, he was saying he was trying to sun him. Sheamus was trying to sun him, basically saying, "I've been doing this shit longer. I beat people better than you. You remind me of myself." Blah blah blah. They're gonna be fighting for the IC belt, which I think that I'm actually excited about that match. I think that's gonna be a good match.
Well, Sheamus is good and Gunther is good, so.
And they're both fucking big, beastly motherfuckers, so they'll probably beat the fuck out of each other.
As far as like wrestling, like actual wrestling, Gunther is probably one of my favorite in WWE right now.
Did you ever go back and watch that fucking match I told you to watch?
I did go back and watch it, and you're right, it was a really good match.
It was very New Japan, fucking beat the fuck out of each other style.
Very much so. There wasn't. I feel like there should have been more near falls, but other than that, it was really good.
All right, then we had another. So Natalya and Deville were pulling double duty tonight. They had to fight Raquel Rodriguez and Aaliyah for that spot in the tournament, and Raquel Rodriguez and Aaliyah win. The New Day.
What do you think of Sonya Deville?
She's all right. She looks like an Italian chick.
You know, she had a stalker there for a while that kept her off TV. Like she thought about not even coming back.
Really?
Yeah, like dude was like sending shit to her house and such like that. Man, she almost didn't come back to wrestling because of it.
Well, he'd be sadly disappointed because she likes girls. So, but yeah, Rodriguez and Aaliyah end up winning that match, and they're going to be facing Io Sky and Dakota Kai and Pumpkin Pie. Then the New Day came back.
I just want to say hi.
The New Day came back and cut a promo, and Xavier Woods was in a wheelchair, looking all sad, and Kofi Kingston was doing most of the talking.
Xavier Woods always looks sad to me. I'm just saying.
Well, then the Viking Raiders came out, and they were like, "You guys should have fucking stayed at home. We already buried you, whatever." And then, but they didn't. What they didn't know was Xavier Woods was hiding kendo sticks in his little wheelchair.
Man!
And he wasn't actually hurt. And they beat the shit out of the Viking Raiders. Yeah, man, they beat the shit out of the Viking Raiders with kendo sticks. And the
I
Viking
would never
Raiders
expect nothing like that from the New Day.
And the Viking Raiders were pissed. Those guys look like they smell bad, really bad.
Worse than Eddie Kingston?
They look like they smell like bear guts and pussy. That's what they look like. They smell like.
Maybe they do.
Then we had Drew McIntyre versus Sami Zayn. And can you guess what happened at the end?
Well, hold on here. It says we head to Sami Zayn and the Usos. And Jimmy sends Reigns doesn't just talk to anyone like that while Jay tells him not to screw up again. So I guess Sami Zayn is like boys with Roman Reigns now.
Yeah, so he's in the bloodline, kind of. They like keep him around because he's been doing shit to fuck with whoever the opponent is.
He's an honorary Uso.
Yeah, he's an honorary Uso, exactly. And that was actually a little segment beforehand because Roman Reigns was giving him shit about not winning that match last week to get that IC belt shot. And then he was like, "Look, I'll take on Drew McIntyre and get him softened up for you for Clash at the Castle." And they had a pretty good match. Drew McIntyre ended up winning with the Claymore, and then the Usos, of course, and Roman Reigns attacked the fuck out of him, beat the shit out of Drew McIntyre.
I'm seeing here, I'm reading where it says they fucking just beat the shit out of him.
Oh, they were beating him with chairs, dude, over and over and over again. Then
Wow.
Roman Reigns fucking takes a chair and puts it over his fucking.
Yeah, that's the
sets
image
it
I'm
up.
looking at now. He's got both belts.
Sitting
he's
on the
sitting with
chair with
chair
both
over him, yeah.
belts. Yeah. Yes. Fucking. Look, I'm not the biggest Roman Reigns mark, but I'll tell you that dude he definitely can play the badass character very well.
And he plays it well.
I don't think he's really that solid of a wrestler he's like some people, but he plays a good character, and he's definitely grown on me since the whole. Because I when people were like, "Oh, you got to see Roman Reigns," and I'd be like, "Man, that dude sucks. Like he's shitty in the ring, stiff in the ring, bad on the mic." But I'll tell you, since I've been watching WWE more regularly, he's definitely grown on me.
I don't really have a huge issue with his ring work, honestly. I mean, if you have a issue with his ring work, it's no different than stars of the past like Cena and people like that. Like if you're gonna watch him during, like, if you get to see him wrestle during a regular show, you're not gonna get the best version of him honestly. But you on the pay-per-views, he usually performs on the pay-per-views. I've never been bored watching one of his matches. I'll say that.
Yeah, and the matches I've seen recently, like him versus Riddle and him versus Brock, I mean, the dude definitely entertains me. So,
well, what I like about him is that he's mouthy in the ring, which is what a
Yeah.
heel should be. Like he'll, just throw out little things like, "I told y'all they can fuck with me," and just simple things like that.
Yeah.
I like that stuff. I want my heels to be heels.
No, we don't have heels anymore, man. We cheer the heels.
Well, in AEW we don't. There's no such thing as a fucking heel in AEW.
But they have the
get cheered.
tunnels. They have the tunnels, so that you know which one's the bad
I'm
guy
gonna
and the
say
good guy.
this. Actually, I don't like AEW set. I never have. Like the
Yeah.
tunnel thing, I don't like it. It to me, it's
not that impressive.
yeah, it's I don't know. It seems so extra.
I mean, does that surprise you though?
I can imagine them whenever they were talking about setting this thing up. They'd be like, "Oh, dude, it'd be so fucking badass if we had one tunnel for the good guys and one tunnel for the bad guys." Dude, how fucking awesome would that be? Oh, and and we can like put a giant fucking chandelier up in between them. Like, dude, that would be so badass.
And Tony Khan was probably like, "Yeah, fuck yeah,
Tony
fucking
Khan
do
was
it."
jacking off the whole time while they were talking about it.
Jacking off and snorting lines of coke. You already know, bro. You already know.
Man, I want to like AEW so bad, but they fucking disappoint me more than they entertain me, sadly.
But I don't know, but they're so bad that it kind of gives you a reason to watch every week and find out, okay, what are they gonna fuck up this week? Like the fucking CM Punk shit.
The problem is I was hoping that they were going to be the next WCW because WCW was a solid product. They're just not. I mean, they have the potential to be if they make all the right moves, but
I still have a little tiny bit. I still have a little tiny bit of faith, but maybe it's just my CM Punk markism that makes me, tune into AEW every week. But
there's things to like over there, man. I like the House of Black. I like Miro. I like the Young Bucks. I like Kenny Omega. There's a lot of things over there to like, but what they do with them is the problem.
Yeah,
it's like
they drop the ball
hey,
a lot.
This week we're gonna have this House of Black member versus this member of Blackpool Combat Club. There's no reason why we're gonna put these two in a match against each other because there's no build to it. But hey, this guy's good and this guy's good, so I know you want to see it, so let's do it.
Fantasy booking, fantasy wrestling. There's some good and bad. I think, like I said, the thing that gets me the most is it really has the potential to be like a top-notch product.
Look, here's an example of how you make even these matches they throw together like that mean something. The scenario I just played out where we have House of Black versus a member of Blackpool Combat Club, right? What you do is you have Blackpool Combat Club in the back talking to Regal, something like that. And then you just have like one of the House of Black members walk by and just kind of fucking shoulder shrug them a little brush. Right there, boom. You have a reason to have a match right there. It's so fucking easy. It's so simple. That right there could start a whole angle, but they don't do stuff like that. They're just like, oh, we don't need all that extra shit. Just put them in a match together. Fans love it.
Yeah. Just like, well, we'll get into that in a second when we get done. So that was SmackDown. So Rampage, which just disappoints me more and more every week.
It's a waste of your hour.
It really, like, it's starting to really be that way, because let's go over the fucking card, okay? So
yeah, you can race through this shit. Here, we got 9 minutes, so
yeah. So let's see. We had the Dark Order versus House of Black, which this was actually a decent match. We had Miro interfere in the middle of the match. You hear Miro's music hit. He comes out.
which is
House of Black
badass, I might add.
Oh yeah, it was if you go back and watch Rampage, that's definitely worth watching. With that distraction, they ended up being able to roll up one of the members of House of Black, and basically, they're building that feud with Miro and House of Black. So that was cool, and now Dark Order gets to go on to the. I guess they're in the
ranking system that doesn't fucking mean anything, Marcus. Their ranking system is total horse shit, and it means nothing.
Yeah, it really does. I mean, if you go look at the ranking system right now, it doesn't make any sense to any of the matches that are scheduled for in the future. Then we had this is Miro is very over with the crowd. Yes, we know that. Miro is very good. Okay, then we had fucking Wardlow and Dolph Ziggler's brother, and it was a squash match. And
what are they doing with Wardlow?
I don't get the. Okay, so this guy Ryan Nemeth, he wrestles on Dark a lot. He's in AEW. He wrestles a lot. Why squash this guy?
They were building Wardlow right. They were making him come
they're still doing the Goldberg thing with him.
Are they?
They're still doing the come out, squash him. I don't know what they're doing with him as far as the pay-per-view goes. They should have hit like a worthy opponent for him, but instead they're putting him with FTR to fight Motor City Machine Guns and Jay.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Lethal.
He should be defending that title at that pay-per-view.
But they don't have a worthy opponent. But I don't understand.
What are you talking about, Dustin? They have a ranking system. There's got to be somebody that's ranked up there to fucking face him.
I mean, it's true. But I didn't really understand the squashing of this of Ryan Nemeth, who is he has a gimmick. He wrestles all the time on Dark, so why squash the guy? Let him have a somewhat decent match, but it wasn't. It was a total squash. Fucking Wardlow hits him with a headbutt, and then clotheslines him, and then powerbombs him 3 times and pins him.
Well, here's the thing. One of the rare occurrences, I'll actually disagree with you on this, because Ryan Nemeth is still a nobody. So for him to get squashed is fine, because nobody knows who the fuck he is, and he's irrelevant at this point. You can do something with him later, make him beat somebody else of relevance to try to build him a name, but he doesn't need to stand a chance against Wardlow. That squash needed to happen.
Yeah, I mean, go ahead, but maybe squash someone else. I don't know. Then we had Powerhouse Hobbs versus an actual jobber, Ashton Day, who I have no fucking clue who that is, and he beat the living fuck out of him. Referenced Ricky Starks a bunch of times. He kept telling him, hey, call fucking Ricky, call Ricky, and just beat the shit out of him the whole time, because him and Ricky Starks are going to go at it. Then I don't know what that faction is called that has been kind of like telling them, trying to get Powerhouse Hobbs to join them, but they it cut to them in the back with they basically jumped Ricky Starks and bloodied him and whatever, and they were like, we told you we'd keep our word. So I don't know where that's going, but I guess Hobbs is going to join that faction. Don't really remember the name of it. Then we had the 2 people I can't fucking stand, Sammy Guevara and Tay Mello, who are the AAA mixed tag champions.
Sammy Guevara and Ty Connie make out?
Of course they did.
Oh man, I'm sad I missed that.
In their entrance, they fucking tongue each other all gross like. And
You
they
hate
were
that
fighting
so much.
Ruby Soho and Ortiz, and Sammy Guevara and Taymelo end up winning. Yeah, it was. I don't know. And then Matt. Okay, explain to me why Dustin Rhodes just gets a random match, like, every month. Once a month,
Because
he
he's
just like.
Dustin Rhodes.
So here's a perfect example. Well, they did. I guess you could say they kind of built it, but basically, Claudio came out, I think, last week on Rampage and was like, "I'm the Ring of Honor champion, and I want to be a fighting champion."
Why'd you do it like
So
Borat? Oh, I'm the Ring of Honor champion.
I don't know,
I
because
have
that's
the
kind of
belt.
how he talks. And he's like, "I want to be a fighting
Look at me. I
champion,
have the belt. I'm the champ.
open challenge." And fucking Dustin Rhodes comes out, and it's like, okay. Well, we already know Dustin Rhodes isn't going to win the Ring of Honor belt. They had a match that was, it was all right. It was kind of mid. He's fighting a
Because
fucking.
Claudio's mid.
I don't know. It was whatever. I don't know.
He's
Like I
been
said,
mid for years.
Rampage is. At least it's only an hour, I guess.
That's
And it's
the
right
only
after
thing. That is the only thing that makes it worth watching, is that it's only an hour.
Really, the only thing that was making it worth watching was the Gun Club and the Acclaimed, but they moved that on to Dynamite, which was, why would you not put the thing that draws people into your?
Is that true, Dustin? There was lots of botches in that Dustin match.
Yeah, it wasn't a good match. It was a mid match. It was very mid. It was. He's wrestling a fucking old man. Like, he's a champion. He's a fucking world heavyweight, Ring of Honor world heavyweight champion. Why is he fighting Dustin Rhodes? Makes no sense. Just like when
Jonathan Gresham basically said fuck wrestling because of that.
It was just like when Dustin Rhodes and CM Punk fought. CM Punk was like, yeah, and Dustin Rhodes was like, I want to fight you. I never got to wrestle you before. And it's like, okay. Dustin Rhodes should stay in the back and train wrestlers. That's what he should do.
Agreed.
He should stay out of the ring. And he should definitely not be fighting for no fucking belts. Oh, and Arn Anderson and his son were.
But what about so Dustin Rhodes was ranked number 1? That's why he got a title shot?
No. It was an open challenge.
Oh.
So, and you know what's even sad is when Dustin Rhodes came out, they didn't even hit his music. He just came out and he was like, I'll do it. I'll challenge you. Me and you have a long history.
All right.
Look, Marcus said he gave him a shot because they're friends.
Oh, well, it is All Friends Wrestling, so.
All Friends Wrestling, that's what we call it. Hey, but there wasn't a big run-in at the end, so at least
all right, well, that's it. That's our show. We talked about some kind of mediocre wrestling this week, honestly. There wasn't a whole lot of good there.
There was some big wrestling news, and we'll see where this whole CM Punk thing goes. It'll be
I think from now on we actually need to start off the show with just checking the current news. We'll do that from now on. We'll look at the news and then we'll jump into the
because
cards.
We didn't talk about Sammy Guevara and Eddie Kingston getting into a fist fight in the back, and Eddie Kingston getting suspended this week.
Oh, a real fist fight or a fake fist fight?
It's a work.
Oh.
I hate to be the guy that thinks everything is work, but they've been working towards a Sammy Guevara Eddie Kingston feud for a couple weeks now. If anybody actually pays attention to wrestling, but
Dustin, people don't like works.
He had one segment in I think it was last week or the week before, where he was talking shit about the Sammy Guevara's wedding. Like, he's like, I don't give a fuck about their wedding, and they. Like, yeah, exactly. Can we just get work? We like to get worked, right? That's what we're supposed to. That's what's fun about wrestling.
If you get worked, that's what makes it good wrestling.
Exactly. Work me, please. Because me and you are very smart wrestling fans. So it's hard to work us. So work me. I like to be worked. Work me, daddy. Work me.
Work me, daddy. All right, then. Well, we're gonna wrap this one up. Thanks everyone who joined us in the chat tonight. Thanks everyone who listened.
And thank you to all our new subscribers. We got a bunch of new subscribers
Yes, we
this
did.
week.
It's
So
awesome. I like seeing that number go up. I think we're like, are we at 50 now? We should be
53 actually.
53. Yeah.
Yeah.
So who knows? Maybe we'll hit 100 by the end of next month. That'd be the hope. Maybe even sooner. Maybe by the first week of September. You never know. We might go viral.
Let's go.
But yeah, check out our other show, the Slacker Cast. You can find that just by searching us on all the podcast forum, like podcast downloading things, and as well as here on YouTube. Just search the Slacker Cast channel, and it'll pop up pretty much everywhere.
Yep.
But that's going to do it for us. So until next time.
Keep it kayfabe.